Hey friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden, and welcome to my cozy monthly wrap-up corner. I feel like the monthly wrap-ups are the only videos that I film here, so let me know what other videos you feel like would be good here. I guess I could do like board game discussions, or I don't know, just like, not really challenges here, maybe. But yeah, let me know if any like video ideas that you think would look good here. But anyways, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing my monthly wrap up for March. These are all of the multiplayer games that we played in the month of March, which I will say right now has been the best month of all times. I played so many games this month, and this month was very eventful with board games, and just my heart is so happy for all of the board game nights that I have had this month. I'm really excited because this was the month that we went to Board Game Con. This was the month that I went to Breakout Con. There we go. And since Breakout Con, I've met a bunch of people in the Board Game Garden community and just people that I've hung out with a bit before, and we've all started to like hang out more and have board game nights, and it's just been amazing. So yes, March is or has been an amazing month and is going to be the beginning of many amazing months going forward. So yes, without further ado, if you guys want to see all of the board game stats for the month, as well as all of the multiplayer games that I played, and I will also be going over all of the 2023 challenges that I put into my planner, because this is now the ending of quarter one, so January, February, and March of 2023. I wanted to quickly give you guys an update on how all of my 2023 board game challenges are going. And yeah, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy. Also comment down below all the games that you played in March of 2023. And also I'd love to know how your 2023 board game challenges are going as well. Hit that subscribe button if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. And without further ado, let's get into this video, shall we? Alright, so starting off with the board game stats. Again, if you guys do not know, I use the app called Board Game Stats. I will put the thing right here. It is a few dollars, but I definitely think it is well worth it to keep track of your plays if that's something that you want to do. I personally just keep track of my plays, who I played it with, and when I played it. I started off the year with tracking like who won and the scores and stuff, but it just ended up being too much for me, so I ended up just stopping that very early on. So yes, for March, my overall plays for the month was 44 plays, which is the best so far that I have done like throughout my entire journey of board gaming and like saving or like keeping up with my stats of board gaming. This has been the best month that I've had so far. So 44 plays, 30 different games, and then there's like a ton new to me. I don't even know how many. I will put up in the little chart here how many new to me games there are. I got to experience so many new games this month, and it just makes me so happy. So yes, a ton of new games to me. And then also for BGA, I played 39 total games on BGA, and I'm just going to quickly go down the list of all the games that I've played on BGA, and then I'll stop and quickly mention a few of them that I want to talk about a little bit more. But I played Lost Ruins of Arnak, Tapestry, Autumn Leaves, which was like a roll and write that was very fun, and I don't know if you can play that physically anywhere. Let me know if anyone knows if the roll and write called Autumn Leaves is available physically, or if it's just a print and play, or if it's just on BGA. Let me know. I really enjoyed that one. Also played The Castles of Burgundy, Astra, Paint the Roses, Next Station London, which is a roll and write that I would love to add to the collection. I've really been enjoying that one. Tokaido, Sea Salt and Paper, which I've really been enjoying. Codex Neutralis, I played it once, and it's a very interesting like card laying game. Boop, Lost Seas, which Lost Seas is very similar to Downtown Farmers Market. Absolutely love both of those games. Dog Lover, Seven Wonders, Stone Age, which a bunch of people invited me to play Stone Age on BGA. If you did, thank you so much. It was one of the games that I mentioned in my 10 board games that I want to experience from like more than 10 years ago. So Stone Age, I also played Downforce, I played Agricola with Alex from Board Game Co. Thank you so much, Alex, for teaching that to me and playing that with me. Really enjoyed it. I will say that off the first play of Agricola, I think I still enjoy Caverna better. I don't know, maybe it's because I've played Caverna physically and I've played it more and we have it in our collection, but I would love to play Agricola physically as well, more to see which one I prefer. Also played Earth a ton on BGA. That has been one of my favorite games this month. Welcome to, Potion Explosion, Obsession, oopsie. Architects of the West Kingdom just recently came onto BGA and I've really been enjoying that. A Feast for Odin, The Isle of Cats, Viticulture, Streets, which Streets is from Sinister Fish, and I actually do have it physically on my shelf of opportunity. So I really enjoyed that on BGA. I played it with Jamie from Foster the Meeple as well as Michelle from Second Star to the Left. Really enjoyed that one. And then lastly, It's a Wonderful World, which I always love. So those are all of my games that I played on BGA, and those are all of the stats for the month. But let's get into all of the games that I played physically in March. So I do want to preface this by saying that there are a lot of games that I played this month, and a lot of them I do not have physically, and I didn't really get a lot of B-roll of them. If I did get any B-roll on my phone, I tried my hardest to get some of the games that I played. I will put them over, but just know that there's not going to be as many in this video, really nice, gorgeous B-roll as there typically is, because like I said, I played a ton of games not here at my house and games that I do not have available to me to film the gorgeous B-roll. So just wanted to let you guys know that I really do love including the really nice B-roll, but I will not be able to do it for all of them in this video. But anyways, without further ado, I first started out by playing a few solo games, which I will get into in the next video on Friday. I also played, or Francis and I played, Camel Up remotely on Jeff and Jamie Foster the Meeple's Game-a-thon. I had so much fun with that. We actually sat here at this computer and we played Camel Up remotely with Jeff and Jamie for their live stream. It was a lot of fun. I absolutely love Camel Up. It is a great racing betting game where you are betting on what camel is going to win, and camels are jumping on top of each other and taking rides with each other. That sounds real dirty. And it actually worked out really, really well remotely. So I recommend, if you have Camel Up and if you want to play it with friends that you can't get together with physically, I definitely recommend doing that. But yes, we started out with that. I played another solo game. Francis and I played Tapestry with the Fantasies and Futures expansion again, which I have really, really, really been enjoying Tapestry. I think Tapestry is quickly becoming one of my favorite games. I just am obsessed with trying all of the different civilizations and doing different things and trying to figure out what the best way is to score as many points in that game. There's been people telling me oh, 300 is a really good score. If you don't get over 200, that's not a great score. So getting over 200 is what you're aiming for. But then I've seen people getting over 500, so it's just a really good game. I really enjoy the gameplay of going up the tracks and doing different things with the resources and having your different civilization and having your different capital city and just trying to figure out how to get more points. It is just so much fun. I love, love, love Tapestry and the Fantasies and Futures expansion. I talked about it in last month's video, but I really like the additional civilizations they added because they are fantasy themed. There's fairies and merfolk and just a bunch of different fantasy themed civilizations, which I absolutely love. So we ended up playing Tapestry with the Fantasies and Futures expansion. That was, I believe, on stream when we did that. I played some more solo games. Francis and I got to play Wild Gardens, which I believe when this video goes up, it is still up on BackerKit. So if you guys want to go check that out, I definitely recommend. Wild Gardens is this adorable game of going out and foraging for ingredients and then cooking those ingredients into different recipes. The recipe cards in Wild Gardens, I cannot get over the art in this, and I'm just obsessed with the art in this entire game, but the recipe cards in particular are absolutely fantastic. And then with all of those recipes, you are serving those to your friends, and then your friends are going to be giving you special abilities and different things. You can also go and study and get different skills to add to your actions. So each of your actions then have more that is happening when you take that specific action. And it's a very fun, just simple, light, a little bit of like engine building, I guess, and contract fulfillment, which I just love that game. So yes, Wild Gardens. I played some more solo games. Francis and I ended up playing Meadow with the downstream expansion on the live stream. I definitely recommend going and checking that out, which if you guys do not know, I do have a second channel. I started this like 2 months ago, maybe like a month and a half ago, but I made the Board Game Garden TV. I always have it linked down below for you guys to go check out. Basically, the TV represents Twitch VODs, and over on Twitch, I stream solo. I also stream with Francis sometimes, some 2-player games, and Twitch actually gets rid of the videos after of the live playthroughs. They get rid of them like 30 days after. So what I've decided to do is I've started to take those videos and then export them onto YouTube so that they are always on YouTube. So that channel is just all of our live playthroughs re-uploaded so that they are, you know, available for everyone to watch for as long as we both shall live. So yes, definitely go check out the Board Game Garden TV if you guys want to see some live playthroughs. But that was March 14th that we played Meadow with the downstream expansion. It is very fun. I always recommend Meadow. It is a gorgeous game. Again, much like Wild Gardens, I am just obsessed with the art in Meadow, and the downstream expansion adds just a little bit more weight to it. So if you're wanting a game that's a little bit heavier, I definitely recommend adding the downstream expansion because it just adds a little bit more to the game. It adds another board that you're going down the stream and getting additional rewards. You're also adding in the water cards, which adds in a different aspect to the game, where again, those cards will be added to your tableau, and then the ore numbers on the cards, instead of victory points, they are actually giving you movement on the stream board. So you're moving down the stream board. Yes, I've chatted about it just recently on the spring board game menu video, which if you haven't gone to check that out, I definitely recommend. I'll put it up here. But yes, that was the last day that I played games before Breakout Con. And I did go over all of the games that I played at Breakout Con, everything that happened at Breakout Con, all of the amazing memories that I made there, as well as all of the games that I purchased there. I believe I ended up purchasing 4 games, but I came home with 5 because I also got another one from a wonderful designer. But yes, I am quickly going to just go over all of them, but if you guys want to hear my more in-depth thoughts on the games that I played at Breakout Con, go and check out that video. Again, I will put it up here. Editing Jenna needs to remember to put all of these cards in. Remember, Jenna, please. But anyways, on Friday, I went all 3 days of Breakout Con, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, we played a lot of lighter games. So we played Small Islands, which is a tile laying game, Doodle Dash, Skate Summer, which I have really been enjoying. We actually played that twice during Breakout Con. Captain Sonar, which is a big group game. It's like team battleship. It was fantastic, a great game to play at cons. And then we also played Just One, as well as Push. And then Saturday we went back. I played Skate Summer again, like I said. I played a little bit of Rolling Heights, which I really do want to play Rolling Heights, like a full game of it. So I'm hoping maybe my friend Daryl will get it and then we can play it at his place. But yes, Rolling Heights was very fun. Dune Imperium was absolutely fantastic. I can see why everyone talks about Dune Imperium, and it's a lot of people's favorites because it was very, very good. And then I also played Earth. I actually taught that one physically and then played it. And then we also played a little bit of Sea Salt and Paper. And then lastly, for Sunday, I just got a few games played last minute. We played Azul, we played No Thanks, which No Thanks was another one on my list of older games that I wanted to play, and I really, really enjoyed that one. And it's just an easy, you're putting little tiles on a card, and if you don't take it, then you have to put a little tile on it, and then eventually someone will take it, and you're trying to have the least amount of points as possible in your tableau. I explained it a little bit more in the Breakout Con video, so I definitely recommend going and checking that out. And then I also played, again, another big game of Captain Sonar with 8 people. So very, very fun. Those were all the games that I played at Breakout Con. I played a bunch of, I played more solo games. And then I actually did play a game that is supposed to be coming to Kickstarter on April 18th, I believe. I will have the link down below to it. I definitely recommend going and checking it out. The game is called Weirdwood Manor. It is a cooperative game, which I'm typically not a huge fan of cooperative games, but this one just had some things to it that I absolutely loved. Basically, in Weirdwood Manor, you are all working together. You're different characters. There's a bunch of different asymmetric characters that you can be. Some are easier, some are medium, and some are hard. And you have your own character board, and you have this big, huge circular board, which is the coolest thing because there's this like time aspect where all of the actions that you're taking take up a certain amount of time, and you only have 12 days in order to defeat a certain monster. And there are 3 different monsters that come in the base game, and each monster kind of has a different way to defeat them, which is very fun. So you have different ways that you're going to be defeating them. And basically on your turn, you're playing a card into either morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and that determines how far you turn the dial. And like I said, you only have 12 days, so you're kind of trying to make your actions worthwhile and make sure that you're not taking too long on those actions. Because if you're in morning and you play a card tonight, you're going all the way to that night, and that is really speeding up time. So it's a fantastic aspect to the game where you're trying to play cards to specific spots, and then you're moving throughout this manor, this mansion that has a bunch of different rooms. There's a little bit of like worker placement, which I absolutely love, and resource management, because you're collecting resources from rooms. You're also forging battle dice, which is so much fun. Another favorite part of the game for me as well. You are collecting those resources, like I said, and then specific resources you have to hand in to forge specific dice, and then those dice you will have to combat with the monster. So yes, overall it is a absolutely amazing game. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I will say is that there are quite a lot of rules, and it is a pretty difficult game. So if you are not at that level yet where like the rules are quite tricky, and there were a few parts to it that we were a little bit confused about, but in the end, I think I played this 3 or 4 times throughout the month. In the end, we slowly figured out how to play the game. And this was the first time that we played it, and we did mix up a few things, and it was very, very, very difficult to beat the monster, I will say. But the nice thing is that with cooperative games, I really like when they are difficult to beat, because the same as with Stardew Valley, the board game, I wouldn't want that game to be any easier, because if you just go into a game right at the start and you just beat it right off the bat on your first play, you're less likely to go back to it after that because you've already beat it, you know? You need it to be challenging, and so I really liked the fact that Weirdwood Manor was challenging, and it continues to make me want to go back to the game and try to defeat the monsters. So that is everything for Weirdwood Manor. Like I mentioned, I will have everything linked down below for the campaign if you guys want to go check it out. Like I said, it does launch on April 18th, so keep an eye out for that. But yes, that was on Thursday. And then next up is actually another game that I believe is still up on crowdfunding right now. I will link it down below as well, but that game is called Cozy Juicy Real, which I'm gonna say right now, this game makes my heart so happy. I love board games, don't get me wrong. I love going for strategy and trying to get all these points and like win and stuff, but Cozy Juicy Real is very different from all of these other games. And it's just a game that creates conversation, which just makes me happy. It's something that I love to do with my family, especially. We are definitely a very close family, and we love to talk and connect. And so it's a game that I really, really, really would love to play with my family eventually, but Francis and I just played this, the 2 of us, and we really enjoyed it. Basically, you have this board. It's not really like going to like win. You are like moving around a board and trying to get to the end first. But the main premise of the game is that if you go to a space, you have a few different colors that you can choose from, and each of the colors represent either cozy, juicy, or real. And then there is also a random, but cozy, juicy, and real represent different questions that you're asking. Cozy are just some like simple questions that just start conversations. Juicy gets a little bit juicier, and then real gets down to like some real stuff, which I just love having conversations with people, and this game just has that and brings that, and it's just so nice. So I definitely recommend going and checking it out if having conversations and opening up to people. I feel like this would be a great game to play with people that you don't really know, but you want to get to know better. Some of like the deeper, real, and juicy questions might be a little bit too much, but I really feel like this would be a great one to play with friends that you want to get to know better and connect with more. It was very, very fun. It's actually right behind me here. This is just a prototype, but I definitely recommend going and checking out the campaign if it's something that sounds good to you guys, but Francis and I enjoyed it. There's also random cards that have you doing some like fun challenges, and then there's also some cards at the end of the game which you have to answer for the person to the left of you, I believe, and you're trying to like guess what they would guess. And with all of the cards, you do get a certain amount of points. Whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. But like I said, this game is really just all about the conversation and connecting. So that is Cozy Juicy Real. Like I said, I will have the link down below to the campaign. And yes, we ended up getting together with some friends. These are some friends that I went to Breakout Con with. One is Aiden, and then we actually got together with Tyler as well, which unfortunately Tyler couldn't come to Breakout Con, but he is also friends with Aiden, and we've been hanging out quite a bit recently and getting some board games played, which makes me very, very happy. But on Friday, I did actually play a game solo, which I will mention later. 2 games solo actually, but that night, on Friday night, I went over to Aiden's house, and Aiden, Tyler, and I played Dwellings of Eldervale. Yes, everyone, Jenna has finally experienced Dwellings of Eldervale. Oh my gosh. And let me just tell you, I now want Dwellings of Eldervale very, very bad. So rest in peace, money. We're getting Dwellings of Eldervale eventually. It is pretty hard to find right now, but I believe they are coming out with a 3rd printing. So fingers crossed I can pick it up at my friendly local game store if they get it back in stock. I don't know why I was doing a peace sign. If they get it back in stock with the 3rd printing. But yes, Dwellings of Eldervale was fantastic. It is a worker placement resource management game. You're building out this map of hexagon tiles, and some of the hexagon tiles are actual spots, like they have names for them, but then other ones are elemental spots, if that makes sense. So there are, I think, like 16 different factions that you can be, and there's 2 of each element's factions. There are 8 different elements you can be: fire, water, ice, light, darkness. I don't know all of them, but all the different factions are so much fun to choose from, and you each have your basic workers. You have a wizard, a dragon, and a warrior, I believe. And with each of the factions, there's like 2 of those 4 that have like special abilities, and you're also getting like cards in front of you to build a tableau. Like I said, there is some resource collection and resource management because you're placing your workers onto one of the hexagons, and then getting something, either doing a specific action at one of the hexagons or collecting some resources from one of the hexagons. And then once you have specific resources, you can build a dwelling on a spot. And it's very difficult to explain, but it is a fantastic game, and I want to play it again. I really enjoyed it. There also is some combat, which I'm surprised I like it as much as I do, considering, but you don't have to take part in combat if you don't want. So that is probably why I enjoy it, because I just don't take part in combat for the most part, but sometimes I do. Next up, that following day, we actually had my sister and her husband, as well as my brother and his girlfriend over, and we did another D&D campaign session. We continued our one from before, and much like before, I've really been enjoying D&D. It's really nice to just have this like world building and just chilling. Like, it's not too much thought that goes into it, which is really nice. It's kind of like a very therapeutic game to me. I don't know, it's very open. You can do anything, you can say anything, rolling the dice and working on your character and just like the personality of your character and stuff. Right now we're kind of doing a campaign where we are being ourselves, but I am kind of like working on like building up myself as that character, that druid in that world. I think it's very, very fun and I'm really enjoying it. So yes, I will say that my character in D&D is a lot more brave than I am and just loves to go for it. And she thinks she's a badass. So yes, really been enjoying D&D. And then moving on to the next day, I also, again, played another game of Weirdwood Manor. Francis and I played it, and we really enjoyed it. Again, we did not beat it, but we got closer than I did before, which there's some progress happening there. I really enjoyed it. Francis enjoyed it as well. I played a solo game, I played another solo game, I played more solo games, and then this past Wednesday, last week, I actually got together with a bunch of ladies. A few of them I met at BreakoCon, Steph and Kat, and they are both like kind of local to me, and Kat was looking for some groups for board games, and she actually found a board game group that got together, all ladies, which is amazing, and they all meet at a certain cafe in my town, which is amazing. It's like literally 10 minutes from my house, which is awesome, and they get together every other Wednesday to play board games. So I ended up joining for this one, and we played 2 different games. We played with Kat, Steph, or I played with Kat, Steph, and Natalie, which Natalie, I believe, is one of the 2 coordinators or makers of this gals board game get together. So we ended up playing 2 games. One was Bot Factory. This is my first ever Lacerda game, which I feel like it was a great first ever Lacerda game. Bot Factory is supposed to be a more welcoming, easier to get into version of Kanban EV, which Kanban EV is actually the Lacerda game that I want to try the most. So it was really nice to have that introduction into it. Basically in Bot Factory, you are doing a little bit of worker placement and building up these robots in order to fulfill these contracts. Again, my dog is barking, but it's very fun. It's pretty light, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to hopefully move into Kanban EV eventually. But yes, that was the first game that we played. And then the second one is again another game that I've been wanting to try for so long, and yet again another game that I need to add to my collection, and that is Planet Unknown. Guys, I want Planet Unknown so bad. If anyone knows of anywhere that I can get Planet Unknown, maybe I should just reach out to the publisher, I don't know, but I want Planet Unknown so bad. I want to share Planet Unknown with you guys so bad. It is a fantastic game. If you are a fan of polyomino games like I am, oh, it is so satisfying. There's also tracks that you're going up, which is just so satisfying too. And wow, 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 I enjoyed Planet Unknown very, very much. Basically, you have this little Lazy Susan and you're spinning it around on your turn, and then whatever ones is in front of each of the players, they have to take from one of those 2 depots and then place the polyomino into their planet. And then based off of what colors are on that specific polyomino, you go up those tracks. And we played with like the basic planets and the basic tracks, but you can actually like flip them over, and there's some different asymmetric planets that you can play with, and all the tracks are different and all of the planets are different and have like specific things that you have to do. And it was just fantastic. It was a very fun game. And then on Thursday of last week was very busy. I had like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all board game nights, and it was just amazing, and I cannot wait to have so many more board game nights in the future. But Thursday, I actually went over to my friend Daryl's house. Tyler and Aiden were also there as well, and then there were, who was there? Adam Singer from Shelf Clutter was there as well. He is a friend. Really enjoyed playing games with him. Daryl was obviously there. It was his house, and then there was Stefan and Greg, which those were 2 other guys that I played Earth with. So Aiden and Tyler actually went to the other room. Tyler brought his partner and they played Dwellings of Eldervale again. but I ended up teaching everybody at the table Earth again. So obviously I've chatted about Earth a ton already, but I really enjoyed Earth. I actually don't think I explained it too much when I talked about, I guess I explained it in BreakoutCon, like the BreakoutCon video. But basically in Earth, you are building out a 4x4 grid of flora and fauna cards, and you're building up your island to be the most thriving and flourishing island that you can. And on your turn, you're picking, English is hard. On your turn, you are picking one of 4 different actions. You get to do a specific action, and then everyone else gets to do the same action, but just not as strong of an action. And you are building cards into your 4x4 grid. You are getting soil to pay for cards. You are getting sprouts to put on cards. You're getting growth to let your cards grow. My furnace is being a bit loud, so please ignore that. But yeah, Earth is absolutely fantastic. It is so satisfying. Being able to do so much on every single turn, you're just like adding things and trying to figure out the best way to get as much victory points as possible. You're also trying to get a bunch of different objectives finished. There's like a little bit of a race aspect to 4 of the objectives. And then you also have your own personal objective and then 2 other objectives. There are a ton of different objectives, which makes me very, very happy because I am such a completionist. So I love like working towards all of these objectives to try to get them all done by the end of the game. But yes, definitely recommend if you are seeing Earth and you are tempted, definitely get it. It is absolutely fantastic. And then the last day that I played games was March 31st. That was Friday. And this day I played 1 solo game, and then I also went over to Tyler's house for a board game night. We ended up playing Everdell, which I haven't played Everdell in a very long time, and we played it with the Pearlbrook expansion. So Tyler got the huge complete collection of Everdell, which I am so jealous. It is absolutely stunning. But yeah, I really want to try all of the different expansions for Everdell. We've only ever had the Belfair expansion, which isn't really an expansion. I feel like it's just like added stuff. I guess it adds like some asymmetric factions and stuff like that to the game, which is fun. But yes, it's been a while since we played Everdell, and I forgot how much I enjoy it. The only thing is that it does seem like it takes a very long time. I'm pretty sure we played a 4-player game of Everdell with Pearlbrook, and it took us like 3 hours, probably 3.5 hours. I was definitely hoping to get some more games played that night, but we ended up playing pretty much just Everdell. But it was very fun, and I really, really enjoy Everdell. If you've never played Everdell before, it is a worker placement tableau building game where you are gaining different resources to then build out different things in a little, I think it's 5x3 tableau, which represents like your town. And you have different buildings and different critters in your town. It's very cute. There are a few different like objectives that you're going for. But yeah, I feel like it takes a really long time considering it is a pretty light game. I think if it like a game takes that long, I would prefer for a game to be a heavier game, if that makes sense. So yeah, I wish that Everdell didn't take as long, but again, I still enjoyed my time with it. But yeah, it did take quite a long time. And then next up, we also played Tapple, which I just recently picked up Tapple from my friend in the local game store, and it is so much fun. And it's quite the gimmick of a game. It's just like this circle of letters, and you have a category, and on your turn, you have to think of a thing in that category that starts with a certain letter and press that letter down. You only have 10 seconds to think, so it keeps on going around until someone can't think of anything and they are eliminated, and then the last person standing is the winner. And then I think whoever has 3 cards first is the overall winner of the game. But it's very fun, very chaotic. Kind of reminds me a little bit of, it gives the vibes of Anomia. There ends up being a lot of like shouting and like a lot of like, so it is a hoot and a half. But yes, really enjoyed Tapple. We actually played Tapple with Francis' family just this past weekend as well, but you guys will see that in next month's wrap up. But lastly, we played a game that I've been really wanting to try that I've seen a bit, and that game is the Grim Forest, which is a very, very simple game. It's a little bit of simultaneous action selection, I guess. You each have the same cards in your hand, and you're picking one in order to gather from that spot. So I believe there is a field, a forest, and something else that is brick. So you'll be choosing one of those three, and then whoever goes there gets the resources there. If there are more than two people, or if there are more than one person there, everyone has to like split up the resources, and you're trying to collect resources in order to build these little houses, which are the cutest things in the entire world. You're also playing these fable cards in order to put monsters onto locations and kind of screw over your opponents. There are also friend cards, which you can only have one friend card at a time, and it just gives you some special abilities, and it is very, very fun. I just am obsessed with the little buildings, and if you're looking for a really good family weight game with fantastic components, the minis are like amazing. But yes, that is the last game for today's monthly wrap up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I do quickly want to give you an update on my solo challenges so far. I have quite a lot in this book here. We start out with the 20 by 5 challenge, which I haven't even like gotten that many on the list yet. I only have 15 written down. I have a few of them played 3 times. Wayfarers of the South Tigris I have played 3 times. Tapestry I've played 3 times, Twilight Inscription I've played twice, Parks I've played twice, Isle of Cats I've played twice, Flamecraft I've played twice, and then Genotype I've played once, and Viscounts of the West Kingdom I've played once. Still on the list, I really want to get 7 Wonders with the Cities expansion played 5 times, Arboretum, Gartenbau, which I still need to play that dang game, Seize the Bean I want to play more, Artisans of Splendent Vale I want to play more, Athenium Mystic Library, and then the Castles of Burgundy with the Vineyard expansion. That is my 20 by 5. We also have the Centuries challenge. So basically this is that I'm playing 1 game per 100 on the top BGG games of all time. So we have Grand Austria Hotel, which is from the 1 to 100, Res Arcana, Cryptid, Wonderland's War, Junk Art, I got Planet Unknown played. I really want to play Fake Artist Goes to New York Zoo, got Final Girl played, got Maglev Metro played, and then I got Wayfarers of the South Tigris played. Still have some there to finish off, so I'll let you guys see that. But those are the first 2. And then the next 2, I have my Roll / Flip and Write challenge, which I've gotten quite a few of them played. I haven't decided how many times I want to play these. I think I at least want to play all of them 3 times throughout the year, but there are quite a lot of roll and writes on here, and there are even more that I want to add to this. I currently have 25 listed here, so I think playing all of them maybe 3 times, possibly 2 times for the rest of the year, I think would be a good challenge. And then I have the Every Year challenge. This is 1 game per year from 2002 all the way up to 2022. I got quite a few on this list done this month. I got Dwellings of Eldervale played, A Feast for Odin, Suburbia, Tobago, which was one that I recently played on BGA, Agricola, No Thanks. A ton of the games that are like a little bit older I got played off of this list, but I still want to play Endless Winter, Witchstone, Root, The Bloody Inn, Orleans, Hannah Makoji, Rhino Hero, Innovation, Le Havre, Mr. Jack, Gloom, Hey That's My Fish, as well as Puerto Rico. Those are all the games on there that I still want to play. And then we also have my solo challenge, which isn't really a challenge. I am just writing down all of the games that I play solo on stream, and I'm trying to get 1 solo stream every single week for the rest of the year. I have 14 streams so far, which is an average of, I think, one per week so far. Even more actually, so that's good. And I'm trying to get 52 played for the entire year. And then lastly, we have the Alphabet Challenge, which is clearly what it says. I'm playing a game for every single letter of the alphabet. Artisans of Splendid Vale, Batoku, Camel Up, Downtown Farmers Market, Encyclopedia, Forgotten Waters, which we just recently played, Gartenbau, Haven, It's a Wonderful World, Junk Art, Keystone, North America, Le Havre, My Little Pony deck building game, New York Zoo, On Tour, Paris and New York, which I've played, Paladins of the West Kingdom, QWERTY, Rove, Streets, which I got played, Tapestry, Unconscious Mind, Verdant, which Tyler actually has Verdant, so we might be able to get that played, and Wayfarers of the South Tigris, and then I cannot think of games for X, Y, and Z, but I'll think of them eventually. But that's a little bit of an update on all of my challenges so far. I feel like I'm about a quarter of the way through all of them, which is perfect because we just finished up with quarter one. But yes, that is going to be everything for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing all of my board game stats, all of the games that we played multiplayer this month, as well as a little bit of an update on my 2023 challenges. If you enjoyed, give this video a big thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Like I said in the intro, please comment down below all of the games that you played this month, some of the ones that you really enjoyed. I think my top 3 would have to be Dwellings of Eldervale, Planet Unknown, and Earth. I think those are the 3 that I really enjoyed this month. But yeah, let me know your favorites down below. Also, give me any updates on your 2023 board game challenges. I love you guys so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.